Welcome back for another video. In this one we'll be looking at all the best players to consider buying ahead of double game week 34, the biggest double game week in what remains of the season. 5 game weeks left, 3 doubles and 2 singles. With that in mind, if you'd like to enhance your FPL experience for what remains of the season and beyond, the Fantasy Football Scout members area has all the tools you need. It's updated after every match with data. The custom data tables are an absolute game changer. The season ticker, player comparison and rate my team tools are also invaluable, and they've got more planned. Click the link in the description to try it out for a month. So let's get into it, and starting with the goalkeeper projections. And Man City's double consists of Fulham and West Ham, and therefore it's Ederson on top, projected 8.5 points. This season he's actually on a negative expected goals prevented. He does find ways to concede in games that Man City are on top of, 1 goal conceded in each of his last 4 games in a row. Nonetheless, with such a strong double game week this week and another in 37, he makes a lot of sense, and he is top among all goalkeepers for the final 5 game week projections. We might see some professional performances where City go 1 or 2 up and then shut out the opposition rather than put 4 or 5 past them as we've seen recently. Alisson's second on the projections this week, and contrary to Ederson, he's top in the league for expected goals prevented. Currently the 3rd top scoring keeper, and Liverpool have a good double game week, both being home games against Spurs and then Fulham. Still's the other goalkeeper to highlight here. Still only 3.9 mil, and he saved Johnson's penalty in game week 33 to put up a 10-pointer. There were concerns that Sanchez would assume the number 1 spot again after a good performance in the FA Cup, but it was Still who came back in, and he's projected 6.9 points this week, 2 home games against Wolves and then Man United. However, the final 5 game weeks, Brighton have 3 doubles, another in 36 and then in 37. So as a result, Still's second top among all goalkeepers for the final run-in. Onto the defenders, and Trent leads, and he did continue his form into game week 33 with another assist, meaning he's now assisted in 4 consecutive games, 5 assists over that run. He's projected 10.3 points for the home double, and he's well worth a -4 this week, and he should be a priority transfer. Liverpool haven't lost a home game at Anfield since game week 14, and since then averaging 2.6 goals per game. On a free hit, the 3rd Liverpool spot's a bit of a head scratcher, but Robertson's a good shout, who also has a couple of assists in his last 2 games. He's second among the defender projections this week, with Van Dijk not far behind. We'll talk about Gakpo and Jota in the next segment. If you're happy with your goalkeeper, then the Man City defender might be an option instead. Diaz and Stones are the 2 that make the table this week. Diaz is a reliable 90-minute a week man, while Stones did play 45 in game week 32 and 55 minutes in game week 31. However, Stones has 2 goals and 2 now. If you can afford him, my favourite is still Diaz, as Pep seems to trust him more to play the 90 and slightly less rotation risk. Estupiñán and Dunk are the 2 Brighton defenders that make the table. Again, my preference is Dunk now. Estupiñán didn't have the best game against Forest, giving away a penalty, and he was subbed off early. He does carry the attacking threat as opposed to Dunk, but given that they have more games to play than any team, Dunk might be the more sensible route to take. We have seen Colwill get a game in left back before, so it could equate to a back 4 of Colwill, Dunk, Webster and Veltman at some point. Konate missed out against West Ham with a minor injury, but he could be a good transfer still if Klopp has good news in his press conference before the deadline. For now, hold fire. Onto the midfielders, and Salah's top projected 13.8 points this week. He's scored in his last 5 home games in a row now, 6 goals and 2 assists over that run, so he too is a priority transfer this week. Liverpool still with an outside chance of top 4, so all to play for till it's over, at worst Europa League to fight for. If you sold Rashford for his recent injury, then it's time to get him back in. He's second on the projections this week among the mids. Man United home to Villa and then away to Brighton. We even saw him outscore Haaland in a double game week earlier in the season, and over 5 mil separates them in price. Against Arsenal, De Bruyne put up his biggest score of the season, 19 points from 2 goals and an assist, man of the match performance. He was substituted early. Pep said, "Kevin told me he had some niggles in his leg, so I made a substitution." Again, something to keep an eye on, and hopefully we'll get more news before the deadline. Good news for McAllister owners though. De Zerbi said, "I think and I hope that Ferguson can play on Saturday and Veltman. If Veltman is back, then this should push Gross into midfield and McAllister further forward again. Also good news that Ferguson could be back with an outlet to aim at." On a free hit, Matoma and March are the 2 to own though, as there's no ifs and buts. They are the 2 wingers and you know where they'll play. Selling McAllister for either is too sideways though, and not worth a transfer. Could Mahrez be one to consider? Despite his bench in last match, he could be in line for a start against 2 weaker sides who will sit deep. Pep likes to use Mahrez against these sorts of teams to break them down. He's a very good dribbler. No Fernandes on the projections as it stands due to his minutes being very up in the air. He travelled with the Man United squad for the Tottenham game, so it does look good though. Gakpo's projected 8.2 points, and he was on the score sheet against West Ham for Liverpool. There's still a good chance that he is benched for one of the doubles, so proceed with caution. Klopp alluded to the fact that attacking rotation will come in his last press conference. It didn't come against West Ham, so you'd expect it to be a good chance this game week. On to the forwards, and Haaland's top with 13.4 points projected. A fantastic performance against Arsenal, and his goal puts him on 33 for the season, which was a new Premier League record for goals in the season. Even more remarkable is the fact that he has 7 games to play still. Could be a once in a lifetime season, and he'll be very hungry to see how far he can push it. Besides Haaland, there's a real lack of double gaming forwards that appeal. Again, Jota's up there, though he was subbed at 59 minutes last match, and Diaz or Darwin could get a start at his expense in the double. Though Jota's by no means a terrible transfer given his recent form, and he's got 2 home games. Martial, Welbeck and Kiso and Antonio can't be trusted for good minutes or even to start in both games, so avoid them. If you're still a Tony owner, he's an easy hold this week with a home game against Forest. Watkins owners have a decision to make though. He's been in unbelievable form under Emery, but he has Man United, Wolves, Tottenham, Liverpool and Brighton as his final 5. No double game weeks. He has however found the back of the net against top sides like Arsenal, Man City and Newcastle, so the fixture is not necessarily a bad thing. Sitting on the sides and assessing after a couple of game weeks might be the play, and you could consider Isak before his double in 36. That wraps up today's video, thanks for watching. If it was useful, please drop it a like and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I read every comment, so drop one below and I'll be sure to read it. See you soon for the next one.